Okay, so let us start with some uh, small projects. Okay, the first one is a very silly one. Okay, so in the chat box, if you keep when I ask a question, you can keep typing yes or no, any one or two of them, so that I know I am still connected. Okay, okay. So this is the first schematic which I wanted to explain you. Suppose you two of you are there in your room. Okay, me means me. Okay, I got two switches, and I got a friend, who is got this switch. This is the switch available with my friend. So we two of us are there in a room. Okay, so the problem statement is like I should be able to switch on and off the fan. So this is if I switch it on, and so this is the control switch which is available. Okay, and this is the switch which is an don't care switch. Okay, so if the don't care switch is off, the control will be with me. If I put the don't care switch on, like I don't care whatever he does, only then his input will be available for the fan. Okay, so this is the circuit which no, we can do, which can implement this problem statement. So it is on, so when I switch it on and don't care is off, so you will have on off being controlled through this AND gate and through this OR gate. So the fan will be switched on off based on my on off switch command. Okay, at the same time, right, when I am putting it to don't care, my switch will be disabled, whereas my friend's switch will be enabled with this AND. So now he can do the on off. Okay, is it clear till here? Are you able to hear me? Okay, so I'll just repeat it. It's a very small problem, right? So two of us in my room, okay, me and my friend, okay. This me too is also, I got two switches. This is the first switch which is written me, and me underscore two, that is also a switch which is available with me. My friend has got one switch. Okay, also me and my friend, we have to control the fan switching on. Okay, so I've got a greater priority. Okay, so if I put this don't care off, that means in that condition I'll be able to switch on and off using my switch. If I switch it on, okay, through this don't care is off, so you will have one coming here. So if I switch it on, one, this will switch on the fan. Okay, if I put it off in the don't care condition, it will be zero here, it will be zero here, so this fan will be off. But in case I put my don't care switch on, then I relinquish my control. Or okay, my switch will become disabled because it's a zero coming here, and now my friend's switch will be enabled because this AND gate is now enabled. So he can switch on the fan and he can switch off the fan. Is the problem statement clear and how it is being implemented? Okay. Okay. So we run a simulation. Okay, we got summers. Let me plot few things. Okay, this is the don't care signal, right? Initially the don't care is zero. In that condition, okay, I am giving some on off switch, and this is the, so and then let me plot my signal also. So let me go to a full screen mode. Okay, add plot in, add plot, and okay, now I put don't care here, on off here. This is the frame. Okay, now when it is don't care condition, you will see whatever is my and on off is being reflected here. This is the output. VF is the output. Okay, uh, just let me plug in. Okay, so V output is following my switch, on off switch. Okay, when I am putting don't care as high, whatever I give, okay, that is not being reflected, but whereas whatever my friend is giving on off signals, that is being reflected here. Is this part clear? Okay, 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 so this is a very simple circuit. So there is not much of a fun in this. So let me open up something else. Okay. See, when we have mechanical switches, okay, whenever we have mechanical switches, when we it's breaking out. Now is it okay? Hello. Okay. So I have multiple issues today. There is no internet out there and power supply. So I'm just since I'm taking this from home, there is an issue. They said. Okay. So this like when you have a mechanical switch, like at home also we have on off switches. When we switch on and off, it will make multiple contacts. Okay. It will go make on off. So generally for a tube light or for a fan, for a AC, those work in 50 hertz system. That really doesn't create too much of a problem. But in digital circuits, that does make lot of problems. Okay. So if you see, if I try to plot that waveform, right? See, if I am switching it on, okay, this is my on switch. The moment I am switching it on, there are multiple on off conditions. Okay, can you see this? Hello. Okay. So these multiple switches in normally in 50 hertz supply and all, when we are working for our home, these kind of switchings do not create a problem. But this cannot be the same thing for in digital systems, right? So sometimes one pulse means it might increase the count by one. So if it is like this, it is making intermittent, it might increase the count. So if it is going to multiply, then it is going to, like, if it has got 5 or 6 such pulses, it is going to multiply by those many pulses. So it is a big problem in digital circuits when you have such noise. So this needs to be, whenever you are interfacing with a mechanical system, finally everything has to be from the real life. It has to be incorporated into a digital domain, right? So in interface there will be some mechanical systems which will induce these kind of noise, switching noises up and down. So these needs to be eliminated. Okay, so how do we eliminate this? This is known as bouncing of the switches. So this is the circuit which is shown below is known as debouncing. So we see how this is eliminated. Okay. So say initially you have an off condition here. Okay, if this is off out here, so it will be 0 out here, right? So this is a NAND. This is a NAND. So since it is a NAND, if it is a 0 out here, it will be 1 out here, right? And this on switch is left open. It is left open. Okay, that means this wire is hanging. So it is a 0 here, so it will be a 1 here. So this 1 will be fed here. And now here on the other node also, you are putting a resistance 100k and you are supplying 5 volt. So it is going to be 1 here, it is going to be 1 here, right? This is going to create a 0 here. So that 0 is given to the input of this gate. So it is a 0 here. So the moment you have pressed it off and left it, okay, so you will have that 0 coming here. This 0 will create a 1 here. This 1 will be fed here. On this node there is already a 1. This 1 will be creating a 0 out here. That 0 is given as a feedback here, right? So this will continue to remain 0. So this is a bifacial latch. It is stable at 0 now. So even if this switch is open out here, right, the moment you open this switch, it will become 1 out here, because this is VDD power supply is available here, right? Through it will become 1 here. But the 0 from here will ensure that it continues to remain to 0, and that 0, okay, there is 0 out here, so this will remain 1 here. So this 1 and 1 will, so that this continues to remain in 0. Is this part clear? Shall I repeat it once more? Are you able to hear me? Okay, I'll repeat once more. Okay, this is a latch. It is a stable condition in which one of them will remain 1 and one of them will remain 0, or it can flip. This can become 0. This will. So this is known as a latch, which is two cross-coupled NAND gates. Okay. So initially, just assume I am going to close this switch. Okay, by giving a voltage out here, this is a switch. Okay, when I give a power supply voltage here, this switch will close. Okay, so this is an off signal. Okay, off signal is F is the my final output is from the upper NAND U3. Okay, that I have named as F. So initially I am switching this. I am just pressing this switch so that F is reset to 0 initially. The moment I press this switch, okay, this ground will be fed to the AND of this input of this AND gate. Okay, so a 0 in the input of this NAND gate, okay, will make a 1 here. Okay, so this one will be fed to the input of this NAND gate. What is the input of this NAND gate? Okay, this switch is off. Okay, there is no input given. I am not at switch on. This switch is off, so this is off here. So this wire is hanging here, but you have a plus 5 volt coming through this 100K. So it is 1 and 1 here, so it will be 0 out here, right? So that 0 is available here, right? So this 0 is going to give me a 1 out here. This 1 and this one will give a 0 here, and that 0 is again given back here. Now even if I remove this switch off, after pressing off for a fraction of second, if I remove it, it will continue to remain, this node will continue to remain 0 because this is 0. This has initially gone to 1, it has come here. Now 1 0 is available at this node, so it will continue to remain at 0, and this will continue to remain at 1. Okay, is it clear? I'll explain it once more. Okay, because this is a very basic circuit. If you understand this, you will be able to do lot of other advanced circuits. Okay, uh, uh, okay, now this is a switch. Okay, there are two switches. Okay, this switch is for switching it on and off. Okay, when you give at the plus and minus volts, there are two supply voltages for this switch. Okay, if you give a supply voltage of 1 volt out here, right, this switch will close, and if you don't give any voltage here, this switch will be open. Okay, is it clear? This operation of the switch is clear? Can somebody say yes or no? Okay, there are two switches. Okay, this switch is for switching it on, this switch is for switching it off. Okay, there are two switches. Okay, the function of the switch is, okay, when you switch it on, I'll tell you the properties of this switch MYWS3 later on, but first just understand the basic functioning, then I'll get into the nitty-gritties of these things. Okay, there are two switches. If I switch it on, right, if I switch it on, ground, this wire will go ground. If I switch it on, this ground will go on. Okay, initially let's assume ki, okay, this is off. I am just pressing this switch and leaving it for a fraction of second, or for 2 seconds I am pressing this and leaving it. What happens? The moment I am pressing, how do I press this switch? By giving a voltage here. Okay, so I am press, this is a mechanical switch, so instead of applying force, I am giving an apply. This is a mechanical switch. Actually, this entire thing is a push button. If I you understand what is a push button? Okay, when you push, one contact will be made. So one contact I have given it to 0, and the other contact I am taking it to the NAND gate. Okay, so I can't simulate a mechanical action here. So instead of that simulating a mechanical action, I have put one switch out here, electrical switch here. Okay, so there are two switches, two mechanical switches. So this is one mechanical switch, and this is it is a push button, like your calling bell. Okay, when you press the calling bell, when you press it, some contact will be made. When you leave it, it will go, right? So it is something like that. It's just like when you press it, a contact will be made, and when you leave it. Okay, now that mechanical force which you are going to apply, that I cannot simulate in LT-SPICE. Okay, so I have modeled it as an source. I have put two source here in series. Just forget about it. They are one source. Okay, that is just to close this and open this switch. Similarly, there is one more switch to close this switch and open this switch. So there are two switches. One is off switch, one is on switch. Is this much clear? Okay, okay, so there are two switches. Okay, one is on switch and one. So when I press my switch, this contact is going to be made, so the ground will be available here. Okay, the moment this ground is available here, right, this is a NAND gate. So what happens to the NAND gate the moment one input goes 0? It will go to high, right? So that high will be available here, right? What about the other input of this upper NAND gate? It is already having VDD through a resistance, okay? Through a resistance, it's already having a VDD, right? Because this contact is not yet made, so it is hanging. So you have a 1 here. So this 1 and 1 is going to create a 0 out here, right? So that 0 will be now fed to the input of this NAND gate. Now when I release this switch also, because this 0 is coming from here, right? So this 0 will be available here. This is now the moment I release this switch, this voltage will go to 1, okay, through this VDD and R. This will go to 1 because this switch is hanging. But 1 0 is available from this path. So this will continue to remain high because this is a NAND gate and you have a 0 here. This will continue to remain high and this will continue to remain 0 because this high and this high will keep it at 0. Is this much understood? Anybody? Okay. So, so this is one stable condition. Now, suppose I am switching on this mechanical switches. Okay, the moment I do here, so this will make contact 2 or 3 times because it is a mechanical switch, right? So I have to, so this output might flicker 2 or 3 times. So it should not flicker. So we'll see how this circuit will not flicker and it will remain stable. Okay, I have pressed off and I have left it now. So now it is 1 volt available here at this point. Now here also it is 1 volt here. So I am pressing it the switch. The very moment this switch makes a contact at this point, right? The moment it makes a contact out here, this is VDD, right? So it becomes ground. This becomes ground. Output will go to 0, right? So that 0 will come here, right? Okay, output will go to 1 because it is already 1 here out here. So the moment you put it 0 here, okay, it is a NAND gate, so it will become 1 here. So you have a 1 here and you have a 1 at this, so this will go to 0. So again that 0 will come as a feedback to this place, right? Now if this switch goes back also, still it will remain 1 because now you have a 0 coming from this path. Now it comes back again, makes a ground, it goes back, no matter it makes how many over transitions, it doesn't matter, this will continue to remain at high because 0 is available from the output of the first NAND. So the moment the first time it makes a contact, this F will flip from 0 to 1 and it will continue to remain at 1. Now is this part okay, clear? Okay, so it is like a, yeah, so whatever it does, so when will it go to 0? Then it will go to 0 when this is off, you leave it off after you have pressed it for a 2, you leave it. Then when you close this switch again, right, again this will go to high and it will reset this to 0, right? So the very first time it makes a contact, it will flip it to 1, and the very first time it this makes a contact, this will go to 1 and this will reset it to 0. So if you see the simulation, then it will become very clear. Let me plot these waveforms and again once more revisit this circuit. Okay, have it drawn. This is the on switch. So initially I told we will give an off signal, right? So initially I have given an off signal. What happens when I give an off signal? At plot plane. Okay, the output will go to 0 at the very first instance. There are many pulses here, but still it will go to off position, right? And then it will continue. Then when I have the on signal, the very first time that signal is there and the switch is making a contact and putting it a ground, it will go to high. Then whatever is these transitions which is happening here, it will not get reflected at the output. Okay, then it will go to off the during the very first pulse of the off pulse, it is coming. Then again it is going back to high. If you see it is the first time the switch makes a contact, it goes to high. So you will find this known as debouncing switch. You see what is happening here from these graphs. Is it clear? Anybody? Okay. Okay, so this is the off pulse, blue, which is shown. This is the on pulse. So whenever you are getting an off on pulse, this is going high. Whenever there is an off, it is going. So these multiple iterations, noise is not getting reflected at the output. Okay, so this is known as the debouncing switch. Okay, why it is? Because there is a, see, what you are doing is to, if you have to make this f, I have to give a ground here. If I give a ground here, right, then it will become 0, it will become high. But after that, if I remove that ground also, right, still it will remain high, because the moment I give ground here, I will have a 1 here. That 1 will be fed here, and I'll get a 0 from here, and that 0 will be available here, right? And this 0 is not dependent on this switch. So so this will continue to remain on. So the very first time it makes a contact, okay, I have one more path which will set the other terminal also to 0, and it will continue to remain at 0. Okay, now what is the purpose of this 100k? See, I can see this node, generally both these nodes should be high, and only when the switch is connected it should go to 0. So that is why I put an 100k, so it will generally be high, right? So but if I don't put this 100k, okay, when I give ground out here, this 5 volt will get grounded, right? So it will be short circuit. So to avoid that short circuit, this 100k is put here. Is it clear till here? Why this? What is the purpose of the 100k? Yeah, anybody can you just answer? Okay, so, yeah, this is a resistor which will avoid 5 getting grounded to 0. Okay, now this switch, where did I get this switch from? This switch I get from if you go to the components menu, okay, there is something known as, okay, switch SW, right? So if I click on SW, okay, I paste here, I will get the switch. Okay, so this is where I get that switch, right? So after you put the switch, this is the command which we need to give. Okay, what is this command? This is again spice model. Okay, you go to spice directive, right? You write dot model switch, or on or off 1 meg. Okay, so this is the model for the switch. Okay, okay, what are the MWYS is the switch model. So when you take an switch like this, okay, switch, you place it here, it will say SW. Now you have to model this switch. Okay, so what is the model the software will use? You will define the model here, right? So I give MWSW. Okay, my switch. Okay, my switch, I have this switch is going to work as per my this thing. Okay, my model. And what is this? This is my switch, this is switch SW, this is the the switch which we have taken from the R on means whenever I give a plus voltage here, right, whenever the switch is on, the net resistance, okay, it cannot be 0. It's an ideal, you can give 0 also, but I am giving 1 ohm. 1 ohm is nothing, it is almost okay. R off means when there is no supply voltage given here, this switch will be off. So what is the net resistance between I have written as 1 mega ohm. It is very very high resistance. Okay, because if it is an electronic, if it is a mechanical switch, you can have 0 and infinity, but this is going to be if it is an electronic switch, then it will be 1 and 1 mega ohm, or you can give 10 mega ohm or 100 kilo ohm. So I have selected these two values, which is very very less, and one which is very very high. Okay, and what is VT? VT is the threshold voltage. Like if I give anything above 2.5 volt, this will switch on, and anything below 2.5 volt, this will switch off. So this is the way I program my switch. Okay, these values are variables, you can set it. So I have set it like this for this particular example. You can do it for otherwise also. Is the modeling of the switch clear, all of you? Anyone, if you can? Okay, so this is how I am going to set the switch model. Okay, now why did I use these two sources? If you see, okay, these two sources I had set so that I get these kind of waveforms. Okay, double waveform. I just wanted to show, simulate this kind of waveform. That is why I have taken two waveforms. Okay, one is giving one pulse, the other one is, so there, if you see the delay. Okay, so the delay, there is a, this is delay I have set at as 1 micro. For the second pulse source I have set as 1.04 micro, right? There is no delay at all in this place, and here it is 0.04. So if you go to these properties of these switches, so how did I generate these pulses? Okay, this is for testing of a circuit, so I required these kind of pulses. Okay, so now how did I set these pulses? I set these pulses by having two sources here, right? And today in the class I told you how to use an PWL also, right? I could have used that also, this option also, to generate this kind of pulse. Okay, PWL, this, right? This I showed, I demonstrated in today's class, right? So I could have used that also, but I have used two pulse. Okay, so now what I will do is I will share this particular ASC file also in the download sections where you download your textbook. There I am going to put these files also. So you will be able to download this ASC file as such and go to the properties and analyze why this source is giving this kind of outputs. So that once you have that, you can modify these things also. So is the functioning of this debouncing switch clear to everybody? Can somebody say anything? Are you able to hear? Yes, sir. So this debouncing switch is it clear? Yeah, tell. Yeah, yeah. You can do. Schemic trigger is a big circuit in ASH. Here we have just used two NAND gates. That's all, and two resistances. If you see a schemic trigger within inside has got lot many components. Okay, okay, it has got. So schemic trigger will have a lot of in within a schemic trigger can be realized by it will require some 8 to 10 transistors, and that design itself is a bit complex. Okay, okay. Now let me take something else. Okay, now what I have done is I have modified this uh, debouncing switch. Okay, so now I have just given one source out here, one source out here, right? I have removed that multiple spikes. Okay, so now I am assuming this is one circuit. For now I am going to make a circuit like you have quiz, right? So in the quiz you have a quiz master who can reset all the bulbs, and then he presents a quiz, and while he's presenting the quiz, whosoever presses the switch first, his light should glow, right? So this is a circuit in which there are two independent players. Okay, this is the switch of the quiz master, which I have given it as an QM out here, right? QM. Okay, this is his switch. The quiz master can switch off. There are two players. Player one, okay, his light is L1 and his switch is P1. Okay, this is the second player. He is P2. He's got his switch L2. Okay, so let me run it. Let's see what is happening here. Now I am going to put the, this is the quiz master. He is resetting it. Okay, both the outputs will go low the moment the quiz master is putting his switch on. Okay, now this is the player one, right? This is the player one. Player two, it is come as P2. This is going to be as player one. Okay, so this is the player one. Okay, this is the uh, light of the player one. This is light of the player two. Okay, so let me take this quiz master there, right? And let me take this the light of the first chap, and this is the light of the second chap. Let's put add propane on light of the first one, light of the second one. This is the player one. Okay. Now, if you see, the quiz master has put it off. Okay. Momentarily, he has just pressed this button. He's got a press button. He just pressed it once and he's left it. So both the lights have gone off. L1 and L2. Both the lights have gone on. And then he started his question. So this chap player one has pressed it. His button. The moment he has pressed his button, his light has gone high. Okay. Now the second player has pressed it after some time, so his light has gone out here, right? And then the quiz master is pressing it off. Okay, once he's seen both the lights, okay, then both will go low. Again he is presenting a question. Again this chap, the first chap is pressing it first, so his light goes on first, and the second chap is pressing it later, so this one is going high. Is it okay? You understood the graphs? Could someone say yes or no? Okay. So there are two players. They are independently. He is pressing. His light will go high. This chap is pressing. It will go high. And whenever the quiz master is pressing, both will go low. Okay. So this is a modification of the debouncing switch. Okay. I have put two debouncing switches. Okay. This control I have given it to put it off. The control is with the quiz master. To put it on, okay, both these chaps are there. Okay. So put it on means he has to. Can I please zoom out the circuit? Okay. Yeah. Is it okay now? Okay. So there are two players. Okay. Both the players, the off is being controlled by the single quiz master signal. Okay. So to put it off, a ground is given here at the bottom. Whereas there are two players, both can switch it on and provide a ground here, and his signal, when L2 presses this, L2 will go high. When L1 presses this, L1 light is going high. Is it okay till here? Okay. So you see these graphs also. Okay. Now, what is your task? This was the last circuit which I wanted to discuss. Now, what is your task is, right? Now, how should the quiz work? Like if L1 has pressed early, then L2, even though he's pressing it, his light should not come because already L1 has pressed it, right? So L2's light should be disabled. Correct? Correct? Okay. So now you have to modify this circuit in such a way that whosoever presses it first, only his light should come on, and then the quiz master will subsequently reset it, and then both the chaps, and then he starts his questions, and then in the second round again whosoever presses it first, his light should come on. Okay, once somebody has pressed it, automatically the other chap's output should be disabled. He should not be able to make it. Okay, you understood the problem statement? Okay, so just try to do this. Okay, so you will now start thinking like an engineer. Okay, like a design engineer. Okay, otherwise we tend to only solve questions. Okay, and try to find out. Okay, this is the set of questions. You try to find solutions for it. Okay, this is now a real life problem which has come to your hand. Okay, now try to exercise your brains and try to find a solution for this. There could be multiple solutions, right? So when you do this, you will enjoy the subject, and you will learn a lot of things by doing such problems. Okay, so design approach. So now your thinking process has to be clear. Okay, now you have to think, okay, when this chap press, okay, how is that when this chap is pressing, this is going high by providing a ground here, right? So is there some way where once this chap has activated, I should prevent this ground coming here? Okay, what can I do to prevent that ground coming here? Okay, so you have to think in that line. So once you program your mind to think now for solutions, you will start getting new ideas. Okay, so this is going to be, so that's all for today from my side. Okay, so you just have to try and work out a solution for this. So maybe next week or whenever I find some time, okay, I'll discuss the solution which I have with me, but that need not be the ideal solution. You can come up with your own solutions. Okay, so this will be like that. This. So this is only for two players. Okay. First you do it for two players. Then once you do it for two players, it will be easy for you to do it for three players, four players, five players. Okay. It's becomes it is pretty simple. If you understand the logic for two players, you can do it for four players also. So you can try and do a simulation for four players. Okay, so I'll share these files with you so that you don't have difficulty in with the modeling command of the switch and things like that. Okay, so you just have to do the just run these simulations, and you see the results and analyze the results. Okay, I'll share you this AC file. Okay, so you just run the simulation as it is. Okay, see the waveforms, try to analyze what is happening. Okay, similarly I will give you this this schematic. Okay, you run this simulation and try to analyze the results. Okay, I will also give you this debouncing switch. Okay, okay, in the debouncing switch there is a small problem. Okay, when you run this, okay, you will find it is it will keep running like this. Okay, it will reach some 100% and then again it will keep doing it. Okay, so what you got to do is you keep pressing escape one two thrice. Okay, then you will get the waveform window. Okay, that is because you are giving multiple source here and with the noise, so there is some problem with the simulation. It doesn't come with a solution, so it doesn't stop of its own. Okay, although it will finish simulation, it will keep doing simulation again and again because there are multiple sources. It has got some issues with the so you have to press escape two three times. You press the escape after you reach 100%. Okay, you will get this window and then you can plot the waveforms. Okay, I plotted it here, so that is a junk. Okay, so you take this on, right, and you can plot these on, off, and F, right. So you can plot this. So I'll share all these files with you. Okay, you understood what is to be done. The task is to make a two-player one. Okay, now in this case it is in this schematic both are able to do it. Okay, both the lights will come on, but if it is happening within a fraction of a second, you cannot see who has pressed it first, right? You cannot make out who has. So just if you disable the other play, if you enable only the first player to lock in, then you will be able to clearly make out, okay, he is the person who has answered it first. Okay, that is what Amitabh Bachchan does in KBC, right? Fastest fingers first. So this is what you got to do it yourself. You just have to modify this circuit and try doing that. Okay, so that will give you some exposure with only NAND gates. Okay, see, these things can be done with bigger circuits also in a much easier manner, but presently I have restricted it. You have to use only the basic gates. Okay, if you are able to make a circuit with basic gates, because these gates are going to cost only the four NAND gates in one IC 7400, which is costing only 25 rupees. Okay, you can make this circuit using a microprocessor also, which will cost pardon. Okay, voice is breaking. Okay, I'll have to resolve that probably today in the class also. After some time, there was some issue with my mic. I'll resolve that. Okay, so this is using only with this. We have finished it already. So this is designing only with NAND gates. Okay, so this just try to do that, and I will give my solutions, and I'll expect if you can come out with your own circuits, then you will be able to learn something. Okay, that's all for today. If you have any doubts, let me know.